For all you people who just seem to not understand, let me clarify this for you, okay? It's not about the act of protesting. It's not about the act of believing in something and pursuing it. It's the way you're doing it. I don't know how many times people have to say this. Listen, what does the American flag have to do with your perceived oppression? What does the national anthem have to do with these issues that people are bringing up? It is a separate issue. The flag and the national anthem has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, you think about the psychology, you think about the iconography, the imagery of National Baseball League, National Basketball League, National Football League players getting on their knees to, quote, fight injustice and being directed to do so by Kaepernick, whose wife is an admitted communist and a BLM pusher. And you're worth $200 million from San Francisco, and you start sitting on your fat butt, not just kneeling, and then you come up with a plan, they admit, to direct the rest of the NFL players to kneel, and then you lose your job because you suck, because you're a terrible football player, and then you sue them because they won't hire you. Oh, you're going to sue them because they're not inclusive of black people? What, the NFL's 70% black? But on the front line, 91% in 2017 of first-string players are African-American. What, are you going to sue because you're black and they didn't let you in the NFL? That's right. Kaepernick's wife has now compared the NFL to lots of other unsavory things. We've seen this quite a bit. People worth hundreds of millions of dollars wanting to virtue signal how evil the blue-collar white people are, wearing jerseys of black football players and praising them and looking up to them. This is the incredible, horrible racism that we see. And this is Kaepernick's girlfriend fantasizing about black people killing their white friends. I mean, you look at the look on her face. She looks like a complete loon. Just like you see white racists, they look all crazy because they spend their whole lives hating some other group. In fact, put that back on screen that you just found, yeah, where she's bad-mouthing the NFL. Yes, she's comparing him to a house slave because it's from the movie Django, where the house slave is hugging the master, Leonardo DiCaprio, and then it shows one of the other football players hugging a white guy. And this is enslavement. Because, you know, you're making hundreds of millions of dollars, and white fans are coming, and a white owner is making some money. In some cases, these owners aren't even making as much as their star players. This is sick, and people are tired of it. Now, I wanted to go to a few clips on this. First off, we have this very important piece of news here dealing with all of this, where President Trump has come out and said that the American people just can't handle this anymore, and that if the NFL doesn't reverse the stance, they're destroying themselves. Well, that's just a truth. And Trump's not going along with this, but the media acts like it's otherworldly and it's this horrible thing and it shouldn't be going on and he needs to be impeached because he's dared come out and speak out against these players that are hijacking these public events and grandstanding and injecting their George Soros garbage. So here's the president saying the NFL cannot disrespect our country.
The NFL cannot disrespect our country. They cannot disrespect our flag or our national anthem. and they can't have people sitting down or kneeling down during our national anthem. And I saw this a year ago with Kaepernick, and I said, this is a terrible thing. I thought it was terrible. And then it builds up a little bit and a little bit more, and you see what's been happening, and then all of a sudden you see more and more and more. And I came out and I made a statement in Alabama the other day, and I said, I think it's very disrespectful to our country. And the world picked it up. And guess what? Most people agree with me. And the NFL's in a box. They have to do something about it. They're disrespecting. And when I say they, in a way it is they because they can stop it. You know, they have rules for everything. You can't dance in the end zone. You can't wear the pink socks relative to breast cancer, which one of the places. They have rules for everything. Why aren't they honoring this country by enforcing a rule that's been in existence for a long time? So the NFL and the players really have to do the honor of the country. It's for the honor of the country. They have to respect our country. They have to respect our flag and our anthem.
That's just common sense. But if they can convince you to hate your country and hate your flag, as if all evil in the known universe is associated with it, they've won. But the good news is that's not working anymore. Now, I'm going to play another clip here. We're going to go through these clips today. We're going to go ahead and go to this clip where we have MSM backs the NFL. And this is just some of the sickening, foaming at the mouth, out of control evil that we've been seeing as the establishment tries to invoke total and complete disintegration of interpersonal activity in this country as they inject the most hardcore race-based culture war garbage ever seen. So here is the report by Darren McBreen. MSM backs NFL, and they've lost big time. Their arrogance, yet again, has shown how delusional they are and how they don't know when to quit.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
We have breaking news tonight in the war between Donald Trump and the NFL.
There is an unmistakable racial element to this story.
It's hard to ignore the racial component here. The president went on this jag on Friday night in front of a largely white audience.
That is racism. You cannot deny it. You cannot run for it. And I kneel in honor of them.
A lot of talk now about coded language. You think about what he said, disrespecting our heritage, we, to that largely white crowd. I think there's a lot of folks out there that look at this and say, what are you really trying to say here?
This feels like a culture war that's exploding right before our eyes.
Is he trying to wage something of a cultural war?
Not at all. The president's not talking about race. The president's talking about pride in our country. What you saw yesterday were players and fans of all races joining together as Americans to honor our service members. That's what the president's talking about. That's what his focus is on.
You're not going to find many voices of support outside his base, his extreme base for these remarks.
So we have a white supremacist president of the United States. The president of the United States chose to pull the sheets off and reveal himself. He thinks apparently that he is the slave master of black people in the NFL.
He wants us to be kneeling in the cotton fields again.
The idea that this doesn't have something to do with race is preposterous.
This country that he wants to make great again is all about making it white.
His whole thing is when was America, make America great again. Now we see that 1817 is more likely when he's thinking about America being great as opposed to us kneeling on behalf of righteousness and justice.
The national anthem is not a white supremacist symbol. And the president has become these things.
Some of the words of the national anthem are white supremacists.
You think the national anthem is racist?
I think this is a country whose history is racist.
The president of the United States came out attacking NFL players for them exercising the freedom of speech.
Because that's a total disrespect of our heritage. That's a total disrespect of everything that we stand for, okay? Everything that we stand for.
All right, Lisa, and as they take a knee collectively, boos can be heard from this sellout crowd in Arizona.
sure if our president understands those rights, that every American has the right to speak out and also to protest.
As a white father, having raised 3 boys, there were a million things to worry about on a daily basis. But it's impossible for me to truly understand the challenges that an African-American father faces at every turn while raising his children.
It's like you're at the 50-meter mark in a 100-meter dash. And you got that kind of a lead, yes, because you were born white.
A lot of these players, they've got feelings, they've got emotions, they've got opinions, and many of the players I spoke to feel that their voice is not being heard, and more specifically, that the president's comments on Friday, particularly calling them SOBs, were a slap in their face. One of the things, though, about football is that it always has a way of kind of unifying us and pulling us together. We hope that this unity that spread throughout the league yesterday will spread throughout America in the weeks and months to come.
When people like yourselves turn on television and you see those people taking the knee when they're playing our great national anthem, the only thing you could do better is if you see it, even if it's one player, leave the stadium. I guarantee things will stop. Things will stop. Just pick up and leave. Pick up and leave. Not the same game anymore anyway.
Now, that's a little piece Darren McBreen put together. A guy I'm suddenly a huge fan of. I watched some of his videos yesterday. I watched some last night. Probably all total an hour of my day got spent watching Brandon Tatum videos. This is just a regular guy, a father, a bike enthusiast, common sense, 99,000 plus followers on his Facebook. And, of course, he's an Army veteran. That's some of the only common sense people left in this country. These people that have been in the military and actually been through real diversity, been through real conflict, and know what the world's really made out of, not all these little delicate, protected snowflakes. And then you look at it, he's got 30 million views on one, 13 million views on another, 5 million views on another. A star is born. I want to get Brandon Tatum on the show as soon as possible so we actually have him up on that screen right there, and I'm not just watching him. Because that's what this show is about. It's about our platform sharing with other platforms just to make the resistance bigger, to understand that, you know what, I was going to air Comedy Central attacking me the last 3 days in a row running with entire 30-minute programs each night. I haven't even had time to watch more than 10 minutes of it total because I'm busy with my family around the dinner table talking about stuff and then watching videos like this guy on the big screen TV in our living room. I got the internet on our TV in the living room, and you know who I watch with my children? That veteran right there, Brandon Tatum. I didn't go last night and watch the attack on me. I didn't go watch the HBO shows lying about me or the Showtime shows. I don't even watch the things anymore. People show me little boiled down clips because I'm too busy realizing they don't matter. This guy right here, this is what McBreen pointed out yesterday, has a reach this week of 39 million people as of last night. He's reached 39 million people this week. Let me tell you something right now. That new Comedy Central show won't reach that in a month. One guy in his car, 39 million people. He's done 3 videos this week with 39 million views on them. And what's he say right here about the video we just played earlier of the president? I love what Trump said. Calm and to the point. Brandon Tatum. The NFL cannot disrespect our country. They cannot disrespect our flag or our national anthem. So, let's play what the people really want and resonate with. This is the real black man right here, not the ones they force feed you all day on television who think everybody's out to get them and have chips on their shoulders, put there by the globalists, put there by the real psychological warfare plantation of the Democratic Party that wants to control everybody. And the Republican establishment trying to be part of that, who knows they're being routed right now and removed in a major global insurrection against the New World Order. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying this had 30-something million views. I'm sorry, it's got 40 million views. See how people always say, oh, Alex, you say Paul Watson's got a video with 20 million views. Then we go look it up and it's got 35 million views. So there's a bunch of channels here. I guess he's got the 13 million on one channel and 40-something million on another. See, that's what I mean. I'm telling you, he's got 39 million people reached with all three of the videos together. I'm sorry, it's probably 60 million now. I can't even keep track of this. People think I'm exaggerating. It's almost always better or worse than I'm saying. So here's a guy with one video. Look at him, if you're a TV viewer. This guy has 40 million views on one video. 13 million on another. All this stuff. Where is he on the news? Oh, you'll hear about him next week. And he'll be so honored to, I guess, go on Fox or CNN for a minute when they've got like a third the viewers this guy has every day. We're the future. You are the future. And they make fun of us on Comedy Central because some of our guests and reporters report from their cars or from their homes. That was the attack last night. I didn't watch it last night. They showed me a clip this morning where they were making fun of our reporters. They admit the show's based on us. That, oh, some of his reporters, like Leanne McAdoo, they report from their living rooms. We could sit there and give her a big studio. We got big studios to kind of traffic cop all this, but we want people in a car. Well, let me explain something. I found with our reporters, if they go do a report in a car, it gets 1 million views. They do a report in this fancy studio, it gets 100,000 views. What does that tell you? People are sick of the establishment. They're sick of slick. They're sick of it. They associate it with BS. They associate it with garbage. So let's analyze this Brandon Tatum, who's got several of the most viral videos this week for telling it like it is. Here's what they don't want you to hear. Here it is.
All right. I wasn't going to talk, but now y'all done made me talk. So look, this is my whole thing about this protesting and this taking a knee on the flag. For all you people who just seem to not understand, let me clarify this for you, okay? It's not about the act of protesting. It's not about the act of believing in something and pursuing it. It's the way you're doing it. I don't know how many times people have to say this. Listen, what does the American flag have to do with your perceived oppression? What does the national anthem have to do with these issues that people are bringing up? It is a separate issue. The flag and the national anthem has nothing to do with what you're talking about. You're talking about an anthem of hope and unity within this country that have made people become great, that have made the poor become rich and give people opportunities. You're just talking about a flag that represents hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears, sacrifice. And the thing that makes me most upset is that you have these people who turn around and take a knee and want to attribute all the negativity to the flag and the anthem, but don't want to attribute the positive. Listen, if you feel that the American flag represents negativity and slavery and all this other stuff, then you have to give credit and credence to a flag that have given you an opportunity to go from cornfields and picking cotton to being the president of the United States of America. Going from being segregated, can't go to proper schools, can't vote, taking you from that point to now you're making millions of dollars to play sports. And you know who's watching you? White people. I'm sick of y'all coming up with these lame excuses. The reason why America isn't, listen, Martin Luther King had support, you could call it bipartisan support. He had support on both sides, from people in the movement and people outside of the movement, because he did it with respect. He did it without robbing Peter to pay Paul. He did it with integrity. He did it with a mission. He did it with tangible goals that were achievable through hope, faith, and dedication, and unity and connectivity between all of us. These clowns are doing stuff off of trendiness. This is trendy. The issues they're talking about have nothing to do with the flag. You can address those issues at another venue. If you really care about black lives, you don't need to be taking a knee. You need to be out there doing something in the community. If you care about oppression, if you care about laws, then you need to be voting. You need to be putting yourself in position to assist in passing legislation. And one of y'all need to take the step and say, okay, well, I'm going to join the police department. Do something about it. Quit taking a knee and protesting and crying like a baby. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing is pissing people off. That's all you're doing. I asked the person other day, people cannot answer this question. What has happened since Colin Kaepernick took the first knee? What has happened? Have unemployment changed in the black community? Have black on black crime changed? Have police stopped shooting black people? Tell me what has changed. Has abortion rate dropped? Has recidivism changed? Has dropout rates changed? Tell me what has changed since he took a knee. Somehow there's more entrepreneurs, more opportunities, more jobs. What has changed? Nothing. Nothing has changed. Nothing is going to change. Stop whining like a baby. Suit up. Play the sport. Play the game. And actually do something about it. Stop dragging the flag in it. If you're going to cry about it on one end,
pause.
But you don't want to give...
My children have been asking me what all this stuff's about, and I don't even know how to address it to them. I just say it's a bunch of people being mind-controlled. The people on the field are baby puppets, and that it's trendy to try to break the country up, and then I can just show my children this, and then they totally get it. And that's what's great. This guy needs to run for Congress. I'm telling you, that's not off a script right there. This guy, he can say it. I'm going to say, they go, oh, it's patronizing. You're calling a black guy smart. No, I call Trump smart. He's a white guy. This guy can crystallize it and really boil it down better than I can. This guy needs to be on talk radio. This guy needs to be on TV. And this guy needs to run for Congress. Because I said, man, this video is really good. I went and watched some of the other ones. Just, he really is amazing. And that's what we need is the truth, folks. He says everything I'm trying to say in hours. It's just so frustrating. It's so stupid. It's so mindless. And the people being chumped into doing it are just that, chumps. So Brandon Tatum's a great guy. And we want to get him on the show ASAP. The full video is up on Infowars.com. I'm going to retweet it out right now at Real Alex Jones. But there's a reason that what he's saying has tens of millions of views. And if CNN or MSNBC or Fox News just put out common sense, they'd be great again as well. They'd have 20, 30 million viewers a night like they used to. But people tune into most of Fox. It's as bad as CNN. People ask, Alex, how do you reach 30, 40, 50, 60 million people a week? How do you continue to do all this? I'm just somebody like Brandon Tatum that came along before he did and got a media operation. I guarantee it was somebody like Brandon Tatum watching a syndicated show with that guy, getting behind him, hundreds of radio stations. Could host a 3-hour show every day because he's just going to cover the topics and look at the common sense angles of it, of how it really affects people. Amazing. That's just one of the videos. That's not the whole thing. It's up on Infowars.com or on his site, Brandon Tatum on Facebook. Somebody's got to log in. So, I mean, the video's everywhere. And I'd seen it a few days before, and thank God McBreen told me, he goes, why aren't you playing this? And I said, why aren't you telling me to play it? You know, I know. I need to be reminded about this kind of stuff. And I told the crew today, I said, look, don't wait for me to tell you to get a guest like that. So you see some guy with 30 million views, and it's powerful, get him on the show. And again, by the time I saw it later, it was 40-something million views. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I was telling them, I go, why does it only have 13 million? The one I saw had 37 million or 38. And they go, this is the video. That was a copy of it, had 13 million. Woo! Who bought them TVs, lady? Tell me that. I love it. He's got something, and it's super bad. And you got it too, folks. Everybody who wants to be free. The truth is sexy. It's the real deal, and it's winning. Infowars.com. We've got Vitamin Mineral Fusion. Amazing. Back in stock, 50% off. 50% off Caveman's going to have to end soon. We've got 40% off the Vitamin B12, Secret 12. Support the transmission, please. Infowarslife.com. I just skipped that break, baby. Fund us. We need the support. Infowarslife.com. It just popped in so they can watch that fellow we were just playing earlier, Brandon Tatum's followers exploding on Facebook as we go. But it's a bunch of those evil, racist white people going in there to watch him. Yeah, actually, the folks who just want to live in peace and they're looking for somebody to get along with. But see, the globalists don't want that. They're upset about it. They're trying to stop it as much as they can. Let's go ahead and finish up with the end of what Brandon Tatum was saying with the viral video now with 40-plus million views on one channel, 13 million views on another channel. It's just amazing. And this is just in the last few days. It'll probably go to 100 million unless Facebook does what they've done to us. Every time I get a video, or more often Paul Watson gets a video, hits 35 million, they delete that sucker. I tell you, they're a bunch of sick filth. Here it is.
Play the sport, play the game, and actually do something about it. Stop dragging the flag in it if you're going to cry about it on one end, but you don't want to give credence to it on the other end. I'm telling you, as an African-American man in this country, the flag means a lot to me. I honor the flag. I don't care if I don't like the president. I don't give a care about none of that stuff. I'm not going to disrespect the flag. I'm going to honor the people who fought so I can be free. That's it. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to honor those people. Presidents come and go. 4 years, 8 years, they out. And I'm sick of you athletes. I was an athlete. I'm sick of y'all trying to act like just because you played in the NFL, you play sports, somehow you're an expert on life. You have no idea what you're talking about. Listen, you play a game. This is fairy tale world. You suit up, you lose, you go home. You cry, you play another game. In the real world, real heroes, when they lose games, they don't come back. When the game is over, there's no takebacks. When you lose, you die. That's real men. You making tackles, I'm saving lives. Don't come at me with that BS about being some sports player. You playing a game. You're playing a game. The people who die for that flag, it ain't a game. That's real life. That's real sacrifice. Don't come at me with that. That's all I have to say. Y'all done made me mad. This country is greater than that. All you clown athletes, you ain't nothing. And I'm going to say this and I'm out here, for real this time. Listen, Donald Trump is a billionaire who's now the leader of the greatest country that ever existed. Cry me a river. He ain't worried about you crybaby athletes. You are here today, gone tomorrow. Relevant today, you ain't signed tomorrow. You have a leg injury, you are irrelevant. Remember that. Remember who paid your salary. Remember who's filling these seats that's paying you money. You ain't making money just because you're a good athlete. You're making money because people want to watch you. People are supporting you.
All right, we got to go to break. And as you heard, this guy just coming out of nowhere, you made me mad. See, they're pushing regular Americans from just doing their jobs, being the real unsung heroes, out in the open. That's what this tyranny's doing. That's what the NFL pulling this did.
Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.